match just because he's going to snipe the other Zen or just get elimination that he has no business getting. And Alarm is that big of a playmaker. But now we're getting into it. NA versus NA, second match of the day, Fusion University. This is Atlanta Academy.
And you see, it's not a mirror right now, ZP. It's actually going to be Fusion Uni on that full GOAT setup. Atlanta playing that triple DPS, just trying to find that value there. But as Fusion Uni, they see the comp, they're going to go back, they're going to swap before the point unlocks.
Very likely to see a Moira here, and Alarm going to Moira. Honestly, even though this is a good... Oh, he's going over.
And Atlanta,
that.
they gave them, that's a class, it's the swap game. He was taking a lot of control.
It's the old swap mind games going on here early. Karkar getting a bit of damage early on here. Funny Astro, of course, an incredibly talented mechanical Lucio. It's going to be Atlanta Academy moving on to the point first.
Getting the first cap here as well. They're going to try to use that amp, keep him alive. No amp available now for Astro.
And no, Atlanta was able to get first control here, so this is quite good for Atlanta. Fusion University, they were a little bit slow to the point, and the longer Atlanta can drag this out, the better.
The longer they drag out, it is the better. But remember, if they give up too much position, if Hawk gets demeched here with that aggressive poke, they're going to be in a bad spot.
Atlanta doing very well in the poke game here so far. Astro 70% to being able to drop the beat. Early rally from Sugar Free Atlanta. Gonna start bringing the fight. Fusion, Chongsek already down, and this is really good for Atlanta.
That's first cap, first fight win. That's huge for Atlanta now. Fusion Uni having to go back to spawn, trying to catch these cleanup frags. They are gonna get Karkar. Gator getting booped off the map though. That's fine because the rest of Fusion Uni, they still need to respawn. They need to get back up. And that was a huge first fight win for Atlanta.
Atlanta, 40% to 0. Fusion University gonna have to try and find a way back through. How are they gonna do that?
I mean, they're gonna try to enter from the white room. They do have that grab. They do have that transcendence available. Saucy gonna have his own. And really, the choke is gonna work against them. They need a way to mitigate Saucy's grabs, maybe get some early cooldowns or an ult out of Atlanta.
Fusion University gonna use the rally, looking to power on through, stuck in the grab on the other side. Saucy with the grab, looking for the isolation on the other end. Heavy damage on the Chongsek. Fusion University gonna be living on. Oh, there's a shatter in from Atlanta, but Sugar Free already down. Fusion University able to shrug it off. Chongsek, shatter of his own. Atlanta gonna invest a beat here, 5-on-6, moving forward. Grab invested by Fusion Uni, and right now Fusion Uni just trying to clean this up.
And you see the bomb come out. Chonzik's shield is broken, forces the beat now. Also, Bernard out of mech. Gator isolated. Will he go down?
The tank line for Fusion University is down. Atlanta has a real shot, bring this back around. They're looking for it. Saucy charged up, ready to go. 100 energy, looking for Alarm, staring the beast into the face, not blinking. And Atlanta in control all the while here.
And look at this. Saucy's going to have another grab. He's going to drop it. He knows the trance shouldn't be up just yet, but it's getting so close. Alarm is a beast. Builds us so fast. Atlanta still holds point.
Shatter in from Chonsek off of their side. 4 people to the ground, and Fusion Uni gonna be heading right back in.
Hero play there for Chonzik, guaranteeing the flip right now. It is going to be 99 for Atlanta. But when we're looking at this next fight, what was so impressive is that Saucy, he built that grab so fast, but now it's equalized. Chonzik has fixed the equalization there. Nice has his own grab. There's a real chance for Fusion Uni to hold.
There is a chance, but it's a long mountain to climb. They have to bring this all the way back up to 99. Atlanta, they can lose several fights and still win the round.
Right now, their goal is to remove, it's eco push. It's just the eco push, remove the ults for Fusion Uni, make sure they can have the chance to just have a 6-ult fight.
Well, Ground's not gonna be used here. Early from Fusion University, looking for the fall through. Atlanta getting very low, but no one has fallen here just yet. And grab on the other side, nice. Just falling into it outright, 6-on-5. Atlanta using the barrier, but this is really, really rough for Fusion University. Johnson gonna fall. Atlanta with a massive advantage coming back into the point.
And they committed ults in a fight where he really could have eco pushed, but with those 2 early frags, now they're fine, they're on point, they control it, and without Orion, without the shield, it's so tough to get to the point here.
We are in overtime. Fusion Uni, they need a hero play, and they need it now. Atlanta has taken up residence back on the point. Self-destruct, moving in from Burnout to the side, gets Astro. 1 pickoff, life still in Fusion Uni. As they move forward, Chonsek gonna knock down another 2, and Fusion Uni not done yet.
And because they've ended this fight, they've used ults, they're gonna lose this. They're losing the game overall. They're losing this fight. The focus fire too strong for Fusion Uni, especially after the shatter. Fusion Uni holding on to the point, keeping it control, and a huge part of that was we see that early bomb for Bernard. Bernard uses those often, looks to split, looks to engage for the rest of Fusion University, and Astro thought he was safe behind Sugar Free Shield, and he was not.
No, he wasn't safe at all. Look at Atlanta. They are absolutely drained. This has to be more of an eco fight.
No, I mean, and the thing is they burn so much time, they use so many ults, even if they take an eco fight now, they put themselves in a much worse position considering that Nice has the grab and the double support ult for Alarm and Karkar.
This is looking like one that Fusion Uni might be able to bring back. They're gonna take the final white rim, but already Sugar Free plastered against the wall. Fusion Uni gonna make it a very quick fight.
Very quick fight. Chonsik is gonna go down to the counter pin for Gator, but it doesn't matter. Look at the stagger as well for Hawk, finally getting the boop. So a quick fight win for Fusion Uni, holding the white room, getting the pin off, and look at the ults. 5 ults for Fusion University. Atlanta, they're going to come in, they're going to be relatively equal, but it's a lot tougher than it needs to be, and Astro does not have beat.
Fusion Uni needed several hero plays to get back to this point. They've done it here. They're on the verge of reversing this round.
This is realistically last fight when we talk about the ult economy. Atlanta rallying in early, coming to the point.
Early Shatter coming in from both sides. Both rounds dropping the Shatter. Both teams still in it. Gravitons being exchanged. Every team getting up close and personal with each other here. But the Transcendence keeping both teams alive. Bernard laying the self-destruct in the middle, looking for anything. And Gator's down! Fusion Unit the first pick. The front line of Atlanta. And a real rough spot here. 6-on-5 for Fusion Uni. Looking to finish it out. And Alarm strikes again! Fusion Uni going to take the first round. They brought it back.
And a huge reason for that was they committed ults in that one. They committed ults in the fight previously. When they needed to eco push, when they had that time, they committed ults. They didn't have beat for the following fight. Karkar did. Better sustain.
Fusion Uni, there's a reason why they are the clutch kings of North America. And it's because even when you think that you have them down, if you don't put the foot on the throat, they get right back up.
And they have plenty of opportunities, lots of hero play makers within that squad, ranging from Alarm to Bernard to even Karkar, who's had some great moments. Nice also on land has leveled up here a bit. So there's just really a lot of chances for them to come back.
Now, upsides here for Atlanta. Atlanta came out, I think, stronger than either you or I thought they would. But it amounts to nothing right now. That's a big 0 for that round. They need to do it again. They need to do it twice.
I mean, close only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades, as they say, so it does not count in Overwatch.
Now, getting into it, both teams exchanging poke. About even in all respects. Fusion Uni looking for it, but look at Gator, super low, taken down, Toxic! Able to finish him off to the poke. Fire Strike chases him on down, and now very big edge here, the Fusion Uni.
And something to note, look at Alarm's ult charge. Almost 62% already. Hits a huge amount of damage on Gator early, has to hold shield. And Hawk, he doesn't eat the Fire Streak from Chonzik, and so Gator goes down. It's something you need to be watching out for when your Ryan is that low.
Absolutely, and now you take a look at this here. You mentioned it, the difference between Alarm and Bird. It's an absolute gulf.
No, it's a gigantic gulf. And this is really in a position where Alarm could feel free to pop his ult first and just run over the rest of Atlanta's front line.
Fusion Uni gonna be bringing this a little bit back. It's on their interest to go for the super early engage here, drag out the time, as it were. And for now, they're just winning the poke game. And Alarm has a Transcendence already, but Bird, he's made up time.
I mean, Bird has made up here a lot, but they can still try to catch someone early. You see the poke coming out, a lot of damage onto Gator Shield. Chonzik, though, losing that shield war.
Both teams going back for Hawkori gonna be DMAC, but Chonzik is down. Very even, Graviton engaged. And Alarm, he's holding on to the Transcendence here. Transcendence already used by Bird. Alarm can use the Transcendence a little bit later into fight. He's gonna pop it. Edge to Fusion Uni here as they roll back over to Atlanta, but they're unable to really use it in that way. Atlanta still threatening from the outskirts.
They're still threatening, but as they come back, Chonzik gets a pick on Funny Astro.
That's really big. Fusion Uni now. They go back. Chonzik is down, but Bernard off on the other side. The bomb's gonna take down 2. And that'll make things a lot safer for Fusion Uni.
And when you look at that fight, how it broke down, you see the time control still going up, the time bank still going up for Fusion Uni. It was Atlanta trying to poke, trying to win the shield war, but because they lost Hawk so early, they lose a lot of that shield presence later on, they lose Gator, and they played it too slow when the ults were equal.
And now Atlanta, they find themselves in a bind, 0% to 67 on the other side. And Fusion Uni in a very good spot.
And you see right now, you see that grab, you see the combo come out. Actually, with the setting it up, getting Saucy Bird, you see the entry now for Atlanta onto point.
Atlanta now making their move, a fight they must win if they want to take this first map away from Fusion University. It must begin now. But so far, Fusion Uni is saying, you know, we're getting dragged out the clock.
They do have Bomb Shatter right now. They need to find an opening. Karkar has the beat, but if they wait too long, there's the grab for Nice.
Heavy shield pressure on the Chopstick here. Moving forward, drop the shadow direct to the shield. Not going to do what he wants. But Bernard already DMAC'd Atlanta, working with really a man advantage to a degree. We're going to be moving forward. Bernard getting real close to getting back to the mech.
Alarm on
time. Chopstick though down. Also is Alarm. And Atlanta going to be flipping the point here. And we have now fully reversed roles compared to the first round.
Yes, it is now a 99-0 for Atlanta. What they need to win here, they need to hold these chokes aggressively. They're going to be getting a grab soon. They are going to have that Transcendence still up, but so will Alarm. Now that Fusion Uni doesn't have any big ults, it's their turn to eco push.
Yeah, and I mean, Fusion Uni, they're very good in these situations.
And they're very disciplined when it comes to not dropping the ults when they need to. Atlanta could learn a thing or two of that from based off that previous stage. They're going to come in from up top, look to drop down, take this fight into Atlanta.
Fusion Uni, Chomsek leading way, dropping on down. Early poke advantage going to Fusion Uni. They've used a very early Transcendence, responded to by Bird. So Transcendence gonna be out of the fight soon.
Grab Eden!
On Eden on the other end! Bernard smothering it!
And look
That's
at the
big
shield
for
presence here on a Gator as well. No bubble, they're on point. They can't hold this outside at all.
Also, it's a free graviton here from Nice. Nice gonna open the grab, but Karka already down. Atlanta getting a little bit better poke earlier on. Hawk to back on. Bernard strikes one more time.
They need to get Chonzik down right now. Bird, Sugar Free still trying to hold on to the point. The peel, look at the armor pack come onto the Bird. Bird is still a menace right here. If they could survive, they could potentially get the trance.
Bird is doing so much work from the back right now. For Atlanta, they still need to keep people on the point. Fusion, they just have more numbers. Bird is gonna finally fall. And Fusion University securing the point here and now. The last little bit of stagger coming from Atlanta. Gator built up Shatter, not gonna get the chance to use it. And it's gonna be Fusion Uni claiming their own here on Control. Fusion Uni taking map 1.
Not looking to repeat another loss on Lijiang for them. And when you see that first map victory, the key for me is like, sure, Bernard's getting some huge bombs, but do you know why? Because they're just rolling Gator.
Yeah.
He's just, when you look at an actual Gator, sort of get turned into a purse, he's Leathermade. Like, he's not having any help. His shield pressure is always down. His shield's always going down. Bernard is clearly setting up great bombs, but it's off the shield pressure onto Gator.
Well, the one thing that Fusion Uni does really well is they play the poke game exceptionally well. Not only will they look for straight pickoffs if people are not in shield, but when that's not the case, what do? They look to the other Rhine. They apply exceptional pressure onto the other Rhine. And as the fights break down, as it goes back and forth, eventually, Fusion Uni was able to get a clear edge in a lot of those skirmishes.
Yeah, they were able to get a very clear edge. And when you're dealing with that sort of poke, you have one of two options, right? You either run away, you hide around, or you engage first. You can't just sit there and take the poke.
Well, guys, it's been a close one here so far, but Fusion Uni taking map 1. Will Atlanta be able to bounce back? We'll find out in just a few minutes.
어디서부터 좋아요? 이거 꺾어봐. 이리 앞으로 가자. 앞으로. 지금 가면 안 돼. 지금 배운 땅은. 뒤로. 아, 뒤로가 있었네. 아니, 근데 이거 같이 밟아야지. 이게 밟으면 나는 붙었을까요? 밟아요. 근데 이게 축박 꺾으면은 밟아? 더 가. 이게 이런 데서 잡아야 된다고?
story as old as Contenders, Fusion University opening up with a map 1 win on Control. But Atlanta, at times, proving a bit stronger than perhaps we expected moving into this first match.
They did look a little bit stronger, if anything. I mean, you know, Fusion Uni, they're much better at Overwatch than they are at paddle boating.
Ooh.
A lot better. You know, I'm glad they put the skill points in the right tree is what I would say in respect to that. But Fusion Uni obviously taking that first Control map, looking, it wasn't dominant, but it was really in their control, in their side.
Well, to be fair, when is Fusion Uni ever dominant? They do exactly what they need to do. But we're going to be looking at here at the next map was going to be the choice of Atlanta. And Atlanta going for a bit of diversity here. Blizzard World bringing it far away from the narrow streets of Kings Row.
And we did talk to Legit RC and the rest of the players, you know, the coach of Atlanta Academy, and also the rest of the players on Atlanta Academy. And they said they do have an interesting strat they're hoping to potentially use on Blizzard World. So maybe we'll see it.
The crazy, unconventional strategy. And now that they've said that, watch them just move out on 3-3.
It's very possible. It's very possible. We get trolled on the daily, really, when it comes to like comps we may or may not see. We haven't seen some comps that were promised, so.
There's far too many times we've had teams tell us like, oh no, we got secret strategies. You know, we have things you've never seen before, and then they roll out on the most meta of meta compositions for the entire tournament.
It is just, it's the life of meta, you know? It is the life of teams thinking like, more often not, teams will also be like, oh, this is a great pocket strategy. And then they actually try it out a couple more times, and then they're like, no, it's actually not very good. We're gonna scrap it. It's pretty consistent within the competitive teams. They love finding new strategy and then immediately poking as many holes into it as possible to get rid of it.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, the one thing I'll say for Atlanta, of course, is that Sugar Free, even though he has been on Brigida jail for quite a while, is a player that is absolutely phenomenal in the various different projectile heroes he can play. Blizzard World, especially Point A, is a map that you can get away with running those heroes a little bit more. So I think we're going to see anything off the cuff coming in from Atlanta. It's going to be on Point A, whether it be on offense or defense.
And Fusion Uni as well, now that they're equalized, you know, they've been playing from very high ping for a lot of Contender seasons. It's very possible we might see more, you know, non-3-3 from them, but they've been so comfortable on that composition that it's unlikely they'll swap.
So right now, let's be clear, you cannot trust anything from the Atlanta offense as they're setting up right now. They have not left the gates. Anything is available. But Fusion Uni, this is something that you could probably put a little bit more faith in. And interestingly enough, where Fusion Uni does prefer a lot 3-3, looks like they're going to be putting out Nice on the Sombra. So
they do put Nice on the Sombra occasionally, ZP, but they often just use it for a scout. They might not actually keep it. You know, it could be looking at the doors coming back.
Like they're on defense. They are absolutely committed to this.
It looks like they're very committed.
So Nice going to be here on the Sombra to start things out. And of course, that means a key difference here for Fusion Uni is that they're going to have to be giving up quite a bit of room early on while they wait for EMP.
I mean, they will be trying to give up some room. They're just going to back towards the point, going to move there. They also see the poke coming out for Nice. Atlanta Academy, while on the triple DPS, their goal is to spam Tronzic's shield, remove the shield, and try to get that presence on the point, get an early pick.
So Atlanta running with Saucy on the Widowmaker, Sugar Free on the Pharah. And you just look to Saucy. I mean, the question is, can he click ahead? He's an opportunity there. Not quite going to hit.
Not going to get it there. You see Fusion Uni just retreating around the cover. Sugar Free doing a lot of trying to get the poke, trying to get the damage right now. As Nice actually going to go down.
Early pickoff, Sombra v Sombra Atlanta. Now with a phenomenal opportunity, 6-on-5. And that just means the amount of people that can even look at Sugar Free, very little. But he's going to be looking at everyone, and the spam coming in, how long can they withstand?
Good anti coming out there as well, onto Snillo, onto Tronzic. You see Alarm going down, the damage. Both Alarm now down and Nice still out of the fight. This should be it.
This is inevitable right now for Atlanta. Every pickoff has gone their way. It started with the Sombra v Sombra pick, and Sugar Free, the skies are his to dominate. It's gonna be Atlanta with a very quick point A take.
Tronzic very low, Nice going down, getting slept, going down there again. That's gonna be the first point cap for Atlanta Academy, and a large part of that was his Nice goes down early. And when Nice is out of that fight, Bird can be more aggressive. Your fair Versity, there's less to even harass them, so they can move forward, just get free damage.
Well, don't forget too, when you're running a Sombra comp the way that Fusion Uni is, you are entirely reliant on building EMPs, so they just removed the main win condition for Fusion Uni. It is an absolutely brilliant opening for Atlanta.
You see Bernard making the swap onto Diva, Tronzic going onto the Winston. Their goal here is to be a little more mobile, be able to chase these flankers for Atlanta. But Atlanta, seeing that, are like, well, let's just swap. We'll keep Hawk on that Sombra. We're going to be getting 80% on the EMP already, but everything else we can just move to 3-3.
And one good thing here is, as well, is that, you know, Wolflike's calling it the cheat economy, right? Where now you're going to have Hawk being able to come in with an EMP that's going to cover the fact that Atlanta just had to swap out all their ults.
Now, it is a relatively equal EMP environment right now between Fusion and between Atlanta, so a huge portion is going to be who is able to get not only the EMP first, but the better EMP.
The problem is, of course, that Alarm has built up Transcendence, so Atlanta, they're still working at a bit of a disadvantage. We've seen teams use the nano boost to counter, but it's gonna be rough.
They did remove Hawk there, had to use the translocator as they try to isolate Gator right now. A lot of Discord, a lot of focus going on to Hawk when he's on the field.
Lana right now holding back. The fight should be in progress soon. Back on the card to start things out here. And it's the EMP out first from Nice. Fusion Uni going into engage. They use it to take down Hawk. And this is looking like a pretty decent fight for Fusion University here. Get her hacked in the back. And Atlanta, they're just trying to disengage.
Atlanta now just going to move back. Probably going to swap Bird off the Ana. They might stay because we do have a very good synergy between Ana, between Sombra. It also allows you with the nano boost to keep your players alive post EMP. So now Atlanta are going to be looking to move back in.
Oh, Bernard slept. I don't know if it's going to mount some much.
I don't think it will matter much unless they try to go for a grab, but they don't even have it, so.
Atlanta now buying their time, moving on forward. Obviously, significant EMP advantage. Alarm going to need to have a very good transcendence to make it winnable. And oh, look at the damage on the Chauncey. Lucky not to fall. And no, he does! Bird catches them from downtown!
Bird uses the snipe there, but Sugar Free also going down. But with the EMP still alive, they need to keep Hawk alive. They need to make sure that he lives. There's going to be transforced by Gator Shatter.
Shadow from Gator in the other way does precious little. Atlanta looking somewhat discombobulated here. They were in it set up for a while, and here's the main thing. They haven't been pushing the cart.
No, they still haven't been pushing the cart. They still haven't set up the EMP, though they did remove that Transcendence. They need to take this fight fast before Nice gets another EMP. That is the key. That's the win condition right now for Fusion Uni.
And the problem is that Fusion Uni has been so split that Hawk hasn't exactly had the obvious EMP opportunity. And he's under pressure even here and now.
Yeah, they're just constantly finding Hawk. They're looking for ways to isolate him, to discord him, to make sure that he can't get set up on the flank as the hack coming on the Chauncey, but it's fine. He's up on the high ground.
Very chaotic is how I describe this point B, but the chaos working in Fusion University's favor.
It's working in their favor, and as we see, Nice is only almost at 80% EMP again. They need to look for the next engage. They need this EMP to come out earlier. But Bird's
actually
down.
got caught by the hack. He couldn't drop the EMP when they want to. Bird ends up falling. They drop the EMP later when they're down one. Fusion Uni, a lot got hit by the hack, but Nice counter hack on the other side. Both teams down one. And Atlanta looking for a way to solidify, but Saucy falls. Alarm snipes him before he gets around the corner.
Alarm just doing so much damage on that high ground. He's sitting there, he's playing that off angle. Funny Astro is going to pick up that frag, but it doesn't matter because no more cart push is going to be happening. They can't finish it with Bird going down early, even with the EMP. There's no way they can out-sustain that fight.
If I had to describe Atlanta in that last fight, uncoordinated.
They're taking so long. I mean, this is the first time that Hawk used EMP, and Nice has used two.
Yeah.
It's literally lapping him. So Fusion Uni, they're being much more decisive. They're playing the off angles better. Atlanta not being fast enough.
It's a minute 30 left here for Atlanta's attack. Fusion Uni been in a very good spot here so far. Hawk swapping over to D.Va. The time and Sombra is done. Atlanta, they're looking for brute force.
It's time for Atlanta to just take and engage. They need to use these ults here. There is no EMP up. There's no beat for Karkar. It is also running Orion versus the Winston.
Reptile used early. Alarm right there at the Transcendence. So you keep it alive. But the Bionade out. Still going to fall as a result. 6-on-5 here for Atlanta. Gator moving forward. Drops a shatter. Didn't do a whole lot. But it's Atlanta off the early engage from Saucy, getting the better of the fight.
Which is fine. They just needed to take the fight. They needed to engage because they didn't want to use too many ults there if you're Fusion Uni, because also you're running Winston. You still don't have that barrier to keep you alive.
That was very nice tracking from Saucy.
And Saucy using some of that land Zarya tracking. As you see the chase come out for Atlanta. Astro Saucy trying to get some damage. That's going to be the second cap. Atlanta Academy continue to move forward. Still running this Ana, by the way, and there's no Sombra on the field anymore.
No, there's a Sombra still.
Well, I mean for Atlanta Academy, though.
Yeah,
they stopped running that Sombra. They're still running the Ana, so there's no synergy there. They're hoping, they're relying. Well, as we say, that Bird's off the Ana anyways.
Nice, moving forward, has the EMP, drops it point blank, directly in the face of Atlanta. Atlanta says, all right, we're just going to back out a little bit. They got the rally off right before as well, so it wasn't actually ideal for Fusion Uni to go into. The EMP effectively wasted.
The EMP, I mean, you did trade for a rally, but I'll trade a rally for an EMP any day. You see Fusion Uni having to back up. There's a lot of damage, Saucy, very high energy.
Is looking very good for Atlanta, who need to make up on time. A minute 40 left to bring this in the point C.
Atlanta Academy coming up on this combo. It is going to be a double portal very soon for Fusion Uni as the rally is used for Sinillo. With the rally, they're trying to pressure the shield, trying to pressure Gator out.
Saucy looking for opportunity, definitely doesn't want to donate this to the other side. It's a Bernard's waiting maw. Self-destruct in here from Bernard early and uses a grab in response, but it's too much. Two already down. The response from Atlanta, not decisive.
No, Atlanta, the fight's over. Even though they did get a frag, it's done. And Bernard, once again, using those D.Va bombs to split Atlanta. Every time they look for an engage, every time they're losing the shield war, if possible, D.Va bomb to split, make sure Atlanta can't clean up.
I mean, it's one of those situations, you think about different ways to use a D.Va bomb. The sort of like low-level, all-right way is you use it with the Zarya. The high-level way, use it without the Zarya.
That's the Bernard way. As now Atlanta, they're having to come back in. They will have the Transcendence. They're getting close to the beat as well, so the double support ult. But in return, Nice is currently building towards that grab, and Karkar has beat, so they have the sustain they need.
We'll see just how they use it here. Going back in, Gator dropping the shatter, knocks out everyone! Fusion Uni and a world of hurt courtesy of Gator, and this is working out very well for Atlanta.
And that is exactly what Atlanta needed, only having to use one ult to finish that fight. Now they're on point, they're moving it towards the end, and they have all their support ults.
Absolutely massive by Gator when Atlanta needed it most, and they just bring it to the end. That is the power of taking everyone out in one fell swoop.
Good shatter from Gator, just recognizing that, you know, a lot of the backline wasn't covered by Tronzic's shield. So he takes the opportunity, goes for what is essentially a reaction shatter, gets so many members on the ground.
And very important here for Blizzard World in particular, where there's so many times that you will finish with 0 time remaining on the clock. They get 22 seconds. That means that no matter what Fusion Uni does on their attack, if Fusion Uni ends up setting a speed run, Atlanta will get another attack no matter what. That is important more than you might think here in Blizzard World.
So we're going to be watching Fusion Uni. Oh, well, actually, we're going to be watching a replay. Gator moves up. You see right now, Tronzic's on the left. His shield is away from the rest of his backline. It's something that, it's a sort of a cardinal sin of Reinhardt, where if you know the other Ryan has shatter, you need your shield. You need the big rectangle from the big rectangle man in front of the shatter, and he was not there.
Absolutely, Gator finding the moment there for Atlanta and really keeping Atlanta in this map.
And keeping Atlanta in the map now, as you talked about, allowing them to get another push in the future. Fusion Uni going to be on the offense here. Atlanta swapping to the defense. And I'll be interested to see if Fusion Uni want to try to roll off a Sombra here again. They have shown nice flexing onto that hero a couple times.
I really like the defensive setup coming out here from Atlanta, where, you know, a lot of times teams will run out with a standard 3-3. I think Ana gives you a lot more flexibility, where it's a little bit better against a Sombra, it's a little bit better against DPS compositions. Is it a little bit weaker if Fusion Uni's gonna run out on what they're about to run out with? Yes, but Atlanta, they're kind of hedging their bets a bit, and that can be effective.
So Atlanta going to be on this defense, running that Ana, and like you talked about, Ana on this first one for Blizzard World, especially on Ana still on a lot of hybrid maps, teams have been favoring it because of all the distance you can use. You sort of just make the race to the nano boost to win the first fight off of nano. Fusion Uni running a standard goat's alarm on that Zen.
For Fusion Uni, we're talking about races here. Fusion Uni, it is in their interest to get directly to point as quick as possible.
Now going to be looking, peeking around this corner, taking this early fight. And their goal here is if they can get an early pick or a lot of early shield damage before the nano boost is up for Bird, they can win this fight based off their superior damage, superior focus.
You're looking at Alarm already at 50%. He is building absolutely fast here.
See the poke come out. You see Carroll go for the boop over the top. They remove Gator. Gator down.
Gator down immediately. Precision from Fusion University, and the rest will fall one by one. That is a perfect point A coming in for Fusion Uni.
And the setup was extremely clean. You see they poke, they wait for bubble, and then Karkar goes over the top, boops Gator into the rest of Fusion Uni, and he's immediately bashed and cleaned up.
You know, sad upsides here, sad silver linings. Bird is Nano Boost.
Nano Boost is up. They do have the Nano Boost, but do you really want to save it for this next fight? It's sure, you have an ult, but now you're running into the situation where Alarm has Trance.
I mean, yeah, that's the worst part. There's an Alarm built Transcendence a lot quicker than the norm, so Fusion Uni in a very good spot for the next fight.
And it's a double, and also there's even more. There's more prongs to that threat, considering that Nice has grab, has outbuilt Saucy by a significant amount because of all that damage, and there's no Transcendence up for Atlanta.
Well, they're going to open up with the Nano super early. They use it on Saucy, trying to let him build up a grab on top of dictating the fight, but Sugar Free already down. The grab's on for their side. Just way too much. Man advantage here for Fusion Uni, about to be a tidal wave in their favor.
There you see Hawk is going to demech Bernard, but Bernard is going to go ahead and jump off the map. The fight's cleaned up, and that is going to be continuing to push through the choke. An early fight there from Atlanta with Bird using the Nano. I imagine the swap is going to happen now, but because they didn't have a Transcendence in that fight, it was a free grab for Nice, who's already at 30%.
The scary thing here for Atlanta is that not only did Fusion win the micro game in terms of the early fight, but they're also winning the macro game and how they're handling their ult economy.
They are, so now Fusion Uni controlling this high ground, making sure Atlanta can't approach easily or own this high ground very easily as they drop. Well, as I say that, they drop actually just going to the high ground entirely. Still, overall, a very equal ult economy.
Well, Atlanta creeping over the top, looking for a way down. Gator, of course, going to be looking for the high ground shatter if he can find it. Fusion Uni biding their time, focusing on the payload. Rally going to be used here early from Atlanta, and Fusion Uni just backing up and giving it a little bit of space.
This is great for Fusion Uni because the rally's gone for Sugar Free. Snilla has that in return. They're going to move forward. They're going to try to pressure with that rally when possible.
Early shatter in from Gator, puts Alarm to the ground, but no one else. Atlanta, can they get an Alarm in time? No, not quite. Johnson from the shatter on the other side. Hawk to the ground. Graviton being used here from Atlanta, forcing out the Transcendence from Alarm. And Fusion Uni still in the fight. Graviton back the other way. Here comes Hawk. Self-destruct over and in, not going to get anything. Gator drives the shatter, knocks down 3!
That is Gator's second shatter of the fight. Chonzik is down. Now they're just going to be playing behind Gator's shield, continue to get these frags. Gator with 2 shatters in the fight, just getting all that damage. And the longer the fight went, especially with the forced rally from Gator Shatter, forcing Snow to keep Alarm alive, they weren't able to initiate, which is what they were hoping to do.
And don't forget for Gator here, where we haven't touched on too much, but Gator, of course, Overwatch League caliber player. He is on a 2-way contract, and certainly one of the linchpins here for Atlanta Academy.
Though he does wear socks with sandals.
Yeah, that was not a good look.
Yeah, it's just not very fashionable.
Yeah, we've really just torn into him over the course of the weekend, and we'll continue to do so.
Snow, though, actually using that flail to move Gator off the high ground, the rest of Fusion Unity coming in. Controlling the high ground now on this offense, a little less than 3 minutes left.
Atlanta holding back 2 minutes, 45 seconds here for Fusion Uni. And Bernard, is he going to be looking for a sneaky bomb here over the back? Just looking for a bit of a boop off, a little bit of disruption. Atlanta going to withstand, not going to fall to that.
And you see Saucy coming up on that grab. Atlanta's going to be hoping to initiate, hoping to find a good grab here before Alarm gets that trance.
Atlanta slowly giving up space here. They use the rally, they use the graviton, but look at Bernard again, using the bomb to make space as the graviton comes in, using the deal to a degree. Meanwhile, Hawk out of the mech, Bernard self-destruct, does a bed shatter on the other side. Fusion Uni though, saved by Alarm.
Saved by Alarm, nice coming up on that grab. There is no transcendence for Bird, so they need to move. Right now, Fusion Uni, this is their opportunity to try to set it up.
Graviton out the other way, Fusion Uni looking to bow on through, and there's no response. Fusion Uni gonna be taking point B.
And it's just all ult economy. It really is that ult economy, the bunny hopping of those ults, the support ults in particular, because when they trade those ults out, with Bird having to use it post-shatter, that just means that Nice grabs free.
Fusion Uni now moving forward, looking to get perhaps a bit of a stagger here. Looking for on the other side, Gator in trouble, Gator gonna fall. It's going to give Fusion Uni even more room to work with here as they go into point C, and they have quite a bit of time.
They have quite a bit of time, and they're also continuing to build up that ult bank, going to be not too far away from the 5 ults, and they can come forward, take a fight, maybe even lose a fight, and still re-push in the eco push, and have plenty of time left.
Funny thing to note here, even for the last fight, it didn't work out, but Gator's still at 70%.
Now Atlanta Academy coming forward, looking for this recontest. We see the shield pressure between both lines, both teams just trying to remove that shield.
Chonzik right now moving forward, hoping that Shield Ward goes his way, diving forward. Is he gonna press Q? Under very heavy pressure. Meanwhile, the other side, Gator and Sugar Free already down. The poke from Fusion Uni just too much.
The poke from Fusion Uni so strong, and just as importantly, Sugar Free uses Rally to try to keep Gator alive to set up the shatter, and Gator dies mid-shatter. So no rally, no shatter, no beat.
You know, to steal a term for a good neutral friend of ours, Super, they're getting boomed in the neutral right now.
That has boomed in the neutral. It's actually worked in the neutral, not boomed in the neutral.
Well, you know, we're just editing it so
we're editing.
Come back and sue us.
That's true, yeah. We don't want to plagiarize. We don't want to plagiarize terms. So now Fusion Uni still in control of the point. A great fight for them, considering that's only a rally invested for 3 ults. 3 ults from Atlanta Academy. This is really their time. They can just invest everything they want.
This is looking very, very grim for Atlanta here. They need to burn more time off the clock if they want the next set of rounds to be favorable to them.
So Atlanta, they're out. You see a lot of pressure coming once again onto Chonzik's shield. Saucy haven't used that bubble. There's the grab, but can Atlanta clean up?
Graviton used early alarms right there with the transcendent shatter, and from Chonzik knocks down 2. Hawk uses self-destruct, making a little bit of room, making so Fusion doesn't go in. Fusion, the best of the beat and grab on their own. They're moving forward. Sugar Free down. Up against the wall, 6-on-5 here for Fusion Uni, but Chonzik down on his own, 5-on-5. And this is very, very close between the two. The poke war, though, much better for Fusion Uni. And still on a rampage!
And the beat interrupted as well. Funny Astro losing that little bit of delay gone. Fusion Uni, their focus fire. The focus fire continuously. It's when we look at it, the prime example was the fight previous, where Atlanta moves forward, uses 3 ults in exchange for all of they use Snillow's rally. They just can't find value because they're losing the poke war.
Now note, 2 minutes to 1 minute, still very winnable here for Atlanta, even at a disadvantage. The question is what is their first attack going to be, where their first attack, while good, was nowhere near as swift nor as deadly as what we saw from Fusion for their point A attack.
They're stuck in a tough decision because the safer option is go 3-3, but you're running 3-3 versus 3-3 mirror, and Fusion Uni so far have seemed relatively superior on that comp. So if you go for the triple DPS, which we saw on their following offense, great, you win first fight, but it might take you the full minute, and now where eventually your ult economy game, you're gonna be forced to swap.
Now I have to ask you this, given that this is really one fight territory and the Sombra usually pays dividends a little bit further out when you're trying to buy more time, what do you think of Nice coming out here on the Sombra in this particular time situation?
I think it's a smart play, considering that Fusion Uni, they just have to delay for an EMP, get the minute off the clock, and then they just play for 1 fight. It's perfect Sombra territory because all they're doing is waiting for one fight to win after, minimal delay.
On the other side for Atlanta, they have made a swap up compared to their first attack. They ran out with the Sombra the first time around. This time, just putting Hawk onto the D.Va.
Putting Hawk onto the D.Va start out. You see some members of Atlanta actually holding in spawn, potentially might see some swaps. Yeah, they're gonna actually be waiting, doing some more swaps. Tony Astro going onto the Mercy. Are we going for the triple DPS?
Yeah, they're going to go with Pharah at a minimum here. And okay, Hawk onto the Sombra, so they are bringing out the DPS. It is a full swap. And wait, they're swapping back.
They're swapping back again. They don't know it's roulette. It's roulette swaps. They're unconfident because they already used 20 seconds to swap. Now they're on 30 seconds.
Normally this is pretty good. Not in this case. You've just burned half a minute off the clock for free.
Well, now Fusion Uni holding the high ground. Still have that Ana, so they will be running into a slightly better matchup. But Bird antied down.
What a bio nade to set that up. Nice to the cleanup in Fusion Uni. They get off the high ground. They want to make this a bit of a scrum. But now, it's 12 seconds left. Can Atlanta even touch the point?
They can, and Bird actually making a swap onto Ana, realizing probably won't get transit time. We need the Ana for the stain to touch point. The anti out again onto Astro, onto Hawk.
Very tough situation. Atlanta getting poked down. All their health draining away. They don't get to the point. Fusion Uni, it's a good first point hold, but I can't help but think that Atlanta beat themselves to a degree.
I mean, we've talked about it previously, how the H key, the change hero selection, it's great when you're overvaluing ults.
Yeah.
But also, it's a little bit bad if you spend half your allotted time on offense changing heroes.
Well, the problem is that, to a degree, any fight in Overwatch is also a probability game. Sometimes bad things happen, like your backline getting hit by a bio nade and Sombra being there to finish it off. And normally, that would have been a quick, okay, we have time for one more fight. But because they spent so much time going back and swapping up hero comps, not coming out with something more decisive, they didn't have that time.
I want that on a t-shirt. That's very wise. Sometimes bad things happen. It just be like that.
It does.
It just be like that. So Fusion University with the full hold here on Atlanta Academy. And sure, Atlanta could do a counter full hold. That'd be great. They tied the map. That would actually be their best case scenario now, but it's going to be very tough with 2 minutes.
That's where it's worth restating that this is first to 3, not a best of 5. There is a difference, and the difference, of course, is that should this be a draw, it means nothing. The map was never played. We go again.
So Fusion Uni going to be on this offense. I doubt Bernard is going to be on Torb. I would love to see a Torb. It feels very EU, with that Clockwork Vendetta team moving out of the trials. We've seen a lot of Torb usage, but I doubt that Bernard will be on that.
Going the crazy off-meta strategies, at times in Overwatch, it's a sign of weakness, and one thing Fusion Uni is, or rather isn't, they're not weak.
No, they are not weak. They play very smart. So Fusion Uni entering here through the point is going to be Bird on the Ana for Atlanta Academy. So their goal, build the nano very fast. They can't let Gator get isolated here again, though.
No, not in the least. It needs to be much more...
You see Karkar. Nope, doesn't get it.
Not quite. Alarm in the back, looking for early poke, building rather quickly. Atlanta, again, desperately trying to not let Gator get isolated. Armor pack goes his way, but meanwhile, they put the focus fire on the Hawk. Hawk getting low, Hawk gonna get T-Mech, meanwhile, Bird is down! Fusion Uni, just far too clean of an engage for Atlanta to deal with. That's gonna be Fusion Uni taking map number 2 up 2-0 here in the series.
And that is GG, or not GG, but I guess it's a good map. GM. So it is gonna be Fusion Uni up 2-0. Head overall in the series, and they're just clean. They're extremely clean. Atlanta, they beat themselves, really, on that last offense.
I mean, Atlanta, they're living up to their reputation of being competitive, but man, I just look at that extra round attack, and what more do you have to say than they were clearly unsure of themselves to a degree, because you can't give up half your time bank in that fashion and expect to win Overwatch matches. It's just, it's too much.
It's one of those situations where if you're going to wait and spawn for the swap, it's a decisive swap. You make the swap, you go. They swapped twice. They were exactly like you said. They weren't decisive. Maybe a little bit of those nerves coming out here on their first international competition, their first LAN competition. And it's clear when you're looking at a team like Fusion Uni, who are all veterans, they're not making those same mistakes at all.
No, not in the least. But guys, we're gonna be taking a short break. Can Atlanta bring this back? Can they go for the reverse sweep? We'll find out in just a few minutes.